Coming up on Valley News now, an inmate found dead at the Lake Region Correctional Center. Valley News Live reporter Anna Ballweber has been on this story, got in contact with his family.
Plus, the dangers of not disconnecting from this device. What psychologists are now saying about repeatedly watching violent incidents and how it can impact your long-term mental health.
And a federal lawsuit filed against Clay County. We have all the details coming up. Valley News Now is live. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this Valley News Now afternoon update. I'm Devin Fry, bringing you the latest on what we've been working on in the Valley News Live newsroom and beyond. I'm going to be vague with that, but you know, you get it. Let's go ahead and dive into weather first. As you can see, we are above zero. That's the net positive of today right now. Yesterday, I was complaining about what was it, like 5 degrees? Now it's 1. Cold temperatures today, early on from what we've heard from our first alert storm team today, 30 to 40 below this morning in some spots in our viewing area, and some first alert weather days coming up for that cold. And so we're not going to waste any time. Let's go to our first alert storm team, meteorologist Summer Schnellbach, bringing us what we can expect as these days continue and those first alert weather days continue to approach.
I'm meteorologist Summer Schnellbach. It's another cold but sunny day here across the valley. High temperatures today only making it into the single digits for most areas. Some of us barely making it up to zero. Tonight we have winds that'll go a little bit lighter, skies remaining clear, and temperatures will plummet back down into the teens below zero. Maybe a couple of locations closer to that 20 below zero mark. Northern Minnesota would be the most likely spot if we do see temperatures drop that low. Wind chills in the 30s to near 40 below zero, especially in the Northern Valley and Northern Minnesota. Same thing Friday morning, lows back in the teens below zero. A few more locations might not make it to the 0 degree mark for a high temperature, but it's still going to be sunny on Friday as well. So that's the literal bright side to the next couple of frigid days. We now have first alert weather days for the weekend. We warm up a little bit after a chilly start Saturday morning, teens below zero, some single digits below zero. We warm up into the teens above, but Saturday afternoon and evening through Sunday morning brings our next chance for some snow. Another clipper system moves through, and we are all too familiar with these systems. They bring light snow, gusty winds. That's exactly what we're expecting. Light snow and gusty winds leading to some potential blowing snow. And that's why we've raised those first alert weather days. Specifically for the afternoon hours of Saturday into Sunday morning is when those impacts would primarily be the way it's looking right now. Still a little too soon to talk snow amounts, but a few areas could see a couple of inches of accumulation. Then next week, we're back to the 20s to kick off February. All your forecast details coming up on Valley News Live this evening. And don't forget, today is also Laney's Weather Kid Day. Join us to meet him tonight at 5.
Everybody loves Weather Kid Day, especially the Weather Kids, but I will give everybody a peek behind the scenes there. On Weather Kid Day, the people who love it the most are the people in the newsroom who get to meet these kids and show them around a little bit. It's a great time. One thing that we want to hammer home here, we are going to have a look at what things look like outside, our road conditions. We're going to check our sky cams, the DOT cameras and whatnot. We're going to give you a sneak peek here on the North Dakota side of things. A lot of green. There's some yellow up by Grand Forks, though. Not going to zoom in. I'm going to leave that for you to digest with as we move on in the show here. So we will have more details on that coming up later. Be sure to stay tuned. We're going to give you the latest updates as you make your way out the door and as we continue to get closer and closer to Valley News Live at 4. Don't forget to have your First Alert weather app handy. The Valley News Live First Alert Storm Team going to have you covered as these First Alert weather days continue. So be sure to stay tuned. Now, getting into the headlines from today, what we've been working on in the Valley News Live newsroom, an inmate has died at the Lake Region Correctional Center in Devil's Lake. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says another inmate found a 67-year-old man hanging in the shower area on Tuesday. He then alerted correctional staff. Staff attempted life-saving measures. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation and the Department of Corrections are investigating. Preliminary findings indicate no foul play is suspected at this time. Now, this is the second suicide at the facility in recent years. A federal lawsuit is currently pending over a November 2023 inmate death. That lawsuit alleges correctional officers failed to provide adequate, mental health care. Now, one thing in this case, a very recent development for us here in the newsroom, the Sheriff's Department said that they weren't going to be releasing the name until next of kin could be notified. However, we have been able to identify the man through his wife. His name is Brian Saylor. His wife, Julie, spoke to us this afternoon about her feelings in the wake of this tragic news. Anna Ballweber just caught up with her, and here we go. Here we have some sound from her at this time. Again, this is Julie Saylor, the wife of the man who was found dead in the Devil's Lake Correction Center this morning.
It makes me really sad and confused how people can kill themselves in jail, and I know they make the rounds once an hour. Maybe that's not enough.
We'll have more from Julie tonight on Valley News Live. Again, we just got in contact with her this afternoon. I sent her a message asking if she'd be willing to speak to us about her experience through this, and to her credit, through all this tragedy, she was willing to speak to us. So, Julie, we appreciate your time. Be sure to tune into Valley News Live to hear more from her side of this, frankly, tragic event. Moving on now, another tragic situation here. 80-year-old Nancy Bamlett from Nevis, traveling eastbound on Highway 34 just west of Park Rapids earlier today. A fatal crash out in that area. 2005 Buick LeSabre crossed the center line, crashed head-on into a westbound Chevy Colorado. This according to officials out in that county there. The driver of the Colorado was identified as 85-year-old Noel Sletton from Park Rapids. He was transferred to Sanford Fargo Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities say that Bamlett lost control before the collision. That crash remains under investigation. You can find more information on this crash on valleynewslive.com at this time. More heavy news today. Sorry for this, folks. A Wheaton man has died after an early morning house fire. Traverse County law enforcement received a 911 call reporting a fire around 3:55 this morning. Crews responded to the home in the 1300 block of Broadway Avenue. First responders found 63-year-old Kevin Cruz inside the residence. Authorities say they attempted life-saving measures, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. No other injuries were reported at this time. A North Dakota man is suing Clay County in Minnesota and two healthcare companies as well. He alleges that he suffered a preventable seizure and a head injury after jail staff repeatedly denied him his medication. This is all according to the federal complaint listed here. Joshua Wagner filed the federal lawsuit Tuesday in U.S. District Court in Minnesota. According to these court documents, Wagner was booked into the Clay County Corrections Facility in December of 2023. Intake forms noted that he had a seizure disorder and was taking anti-seizure medications. The lawsuit alleges that Wagner verbally requested his medication daily for 5 days. A family member also called the jail and attempted to deliver the medication. The lawsuit says that the staff refused to accept it. On the 5th day, Wagner fell from his bunk during a seizure, sustained a closed head injury requiring sutures. He seeks damages exceeding $75,000. I do want to make note that we have reached out to Clay County officials for a response to this federal lawsuit. They haven't gotten back to us at this time. We will watch for responses being filed in the lawsuit and of course bring those responses as those come through as well. Another court filing this morning. A West Fargo man faces multiple felony charges after police say he was caught driving a stolen vehicle with methamphetamine and firearms inside. Anthony Delato was arrested early Wednesday morning following a traffic stop. According to court documents, Officer Connor Harriman spotted a silver Chevy Aveo linked to a stolen, I haven't heard that car name before, that's on me, linked to a stolen vehicle report. Police say Delato tried to flee but got stuck in a snowbank. Officers found 9 grams of methamphetamine and a glass pipe in Delato's pocket. A search of the vehicle turned up 2 handguns as well. One was loaded with a round chambered. Police confirmed the Aveo was stolen. Delato is currently being held at the Cass County Jail. Federal agents involved in the deadly shooting of ICU nurse Alex Preddy in Minnesota have been placed on administrative leave, moving our scope a little bit towards the Twin Cities as this situation continues to develop there. Department of Homeland Security officials confirmed the news to CNN and NBC. Officials say it's standard protocol for agents involved in shootings to be placed on administrative leave while internal investigations are conducted. Preddy was shot and killed by federal agents in Minnesota. Details surrounding the shooting remain under investigation. This is a developing story. We're going to have more information on it as that continues to develop. Now, all of that leading up to one story that we have coming up tonight as these these interactions with ICE officers and more violent demonstrations and run-ins with federal agents continue in the Twin Cities. It's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to let that affect your mental health. That's where Valley News Live reporter Harrison Prey decided to speak with Sanford officials about just how to stay level-headed through all of the constant influx, seemingly, of potentially violent videos out there. That's his story tonight. Jessica Bringy sat down with Harrison and brings us more on what we can expect coming up tonight at 6.
Devin, harrowing video just like this of ICE agents having violent encounters with Minnesotans in the street, protests erupting across the state. We really can't escape from videos, social media constantly showing us images again and again and again. It's gotten to the point where new research now, Harrison, is showing psychologists are saying watching images like this can actually have long-term effects.
That's right. And talking to a licensed psychologist at Sanford, he recommended that this is something that, people have been seeing the last few weeks or so, ever since those ICE incidents started in Minneapolis, dating back to January 7th. And so, this is just something that psychologists are talking about. You have symptoms like PTSD, depression, anxiety, and he's recommended a lot of tips going forward to avoid feeling any of those symptoms going forward.
And it's a short amount of time as about 14 minutes, just 14 minutes of negative news, watching those violent images can have that long-term effect. Yeah.
And it takes that long. And the thing with social media, as we all know, if you own a phone, there's unlimited access to it. So, beyond anxiety and PTSD, there's also sleep disruption. So that's why the psychologist I talked to today talked about making sure that you turn off your phone entirely once you get close to your bedtime, and a bunch of other tricks and tips that we can talk about later on.
And also just having hobbies. I know that's a big one. You might feel guilty. That's one thing psychologists say about having hobbies, disconnecting yourself, but finding an outlet is also important.
Yeah. Outlets, hobbies, things that you look forward to doing, outside of just going on your phone, because that's something that everybody goes into, that constant feedback of like, all right, I'm bored, go on my phone, but finding that hobby, finding something else, reading as opposed to looking on your phone and consuming social media, things like that usually help.
And we will be talking other alternative ways to disconnect, but please weigh in. What do you do? Let us know to disconnect. Maybe give other viewers an idea of your hobbies, especially during the winter months. It's hard to get out and do anything other than tune into social media. But Harrison, looking forward to hearing from that psychologist coming up tonight at
6.
All right. Thanks so much.
Jessica and Harrison, thank you so much for that one. Looking forward to that. That's an aspect that I really didn't consider. In the news business, you're so locked into all of this stuff. I didn't really consider the fact that maybe it's not great for me to have all of that at the same time. So a really important note there from Harrison moving forward. All right, let's real quickly. We are running out of time here. It's time for our trending segment that Duke Schindler's going to be bringing us every day here, checking out the trending topics, not just here locally. We are going to include some stuff from here locally, but more overarching as well. Let's go ahead and let Duke Schindler take this one away.
We'll start off with TikTok as they've reached an agreement late Monday to settle a lawsuit over claims that social media companies had engineered their products to hook young users. The Social Media Victims Law Center attorney said Quote, plaintiff is pleased to have reached a negotiated settlement with TikTok in this matter, the terms of which are confidential, end quote. Now, allegations by a 19-year-old plaintiff claims that using social media from a young age caused her to become addicted to the technology and led her to develop depression and suicidal thoughts. Then huge news in the sports world breaking today as Milwaukee Bucks superstar, two-time MVP and 2021 NBA champion Giannis Antetokounmpo may be on the move this deadline or in the offseason. ESPN's Shams Charania breaking the news earlier this morning saying, quote, Antetokounmpo is ready for a new home at the February 5th trade deadline or in the offseason. Should be really spicy coming up here in a couple weeks. But before we let you go, the North Dakota Highway Patrol needs your help naming their newest recruits. Check this cute little guy out. This puppy will be stationed in Fargo starting next month, but first, he's going to need a name. And folks, look at that face. Now, the choices you have to choose from are Bull, Oslo, Mac, or Leo. Then you can vote for your favorite name on their Facebook page. Thank you very much for joining our trending segment here with Duke Schindler. Devin, back to you.
Thank you for that, Duke. Gosh, what do you name something so cute, but also it's important? You can't just give him a cute name. He has an important job to do. Officer Oslo, studio audience likes Oslo, so, you know, make your voice heard. We only have 4 minutes of Valley News Live at 4, so we're going to real quick go over what things look like outside as you get ready to make your way out the door. Let's look at the sky cam first before the road conditions. Clear, crisp, beautiful sun, blinding sun for those of you that had to drive in facing it like me this morning. 1 degree though, so not the most fun. Let's look at the roads right now. Obviously a lot of green as you can expect. No snowfall today, thankfully. There is some yellowness up by Grand Forks here, which is just scattered ice. I kind of just go in expecting that wherever I drive in this area, and it has not let me down yet. I even do that in the summer. Looking over in the Minnesota side of things, let's go ahead and pull up the traffic cameras from out there so we can get another look at how things look outside. We'll go to I-94 here. Well, that's more of the 8th Street intersection over I-94. We'll be real technical and go to I-94 here. Looking crisp, looking clean. The roads do not look like they have much glare coming off them at all. Also, traffic looks light. So if you're about to make your way out the door, great news for you there. Valley News Live at 4 starts in just 3 minutes. Duke Schindler hosting that show. He's got you covered there. We have you covered for the rest of the time on Valley News Now. Whether you're watching it on our Facebook page, on our website, YouTube channel, wherever you are, we're going to be bringing the news to you. Make sure you have your Valley News weather app and news app handy, and we're going to be right there with you wherever you may need us. That's all for this Valley News Now afternoon update. Thank you for joining us. I'm Devin Fry.